All right, guys, welcome to week five's explainer on PostgreSql and our introduction into that. So I'm gonna start off with our schema. We would run a command in the command line, and then this creates the tables in our database that we specified for the .m file. Here we have serial, which makes primary key makes this the unique single key for this ID that increments starting at one for every row that goes into that column. So it makes it unique. Uh, well, we have unique here specifying, but serial primary key comes along with its own unique feature under the hood. We have varchar 255, which is the max, and this regulates or constrains the amount of characters that an email can have. It is not allowed to be null, and it is unique, meaning we are not allowed to have multiples of this registered email or created of this email. We have our hashed password. Oh, this one's varchar 30, meaning the name can't be more than 30 characters. Uh, so the same thing applies to all of them as we go through. This default value is one that is put, so we don't have to put that in or create it. But if we wanted to, we could. Um, Down here, we have more of the default value. We have false here. We have a user ID that references the table users and then its ID here, making this actually unique as well, as you can see by this constraint here. We have another timestamp. Now we're going to go into our pool. This is our database connection. I'm going to take a second and talk about this because I like to run things from terminals, multiple terminals. That way I can see things as they're printed out, as I will show you here in a little bit. But one of the problems I ran into is when I would do my testing, my .m file for my node environment was reading, but in my terminal it wasn't. I would run an echo and then check the environment variable, and it would give me back an empty string. I fixed this with source.m file while in the directory in those terminals so that it would it itself would process it. This was causing a problem because when they would run the tests and it would be child processes that would be running in the terminal, it wasn't making that connection for some weird reason. What is it? I don't want to butcher this explanation. It's because of the node environment and the .m package with the configure that I run is because my node environment can see it, but the terminals don't natively have that information. Our file system, our driver doesn't know to automatically read that. I think I got that right. All right, so here's our .env and everything that's in it. Jumping over to the app.js, I want to start here because this is what's going to lead us. We go to use route. In here, we hit our register, which is all our controller file here. So we're going to jump into here. um, so in here, we are running a lot of our same checks from previous lessons. The only thing that's really changing is kind of what we're doing with that information because our database does handle a lot of the filtering for us through our querying. So we don't have to check global our makeshift database for this. We just send a query selected based off of a unique ID because that only gives us one. Uh, if it doesn't return one, our user needs to be registered, as our message says. But if there is one, we come down here, we run our comparison. As you can see, we'll see the console log for that for the testing. If that comes back false, it is gets this sent. We have our assigning is logged in. This is actually the most important part. I'm sorry. I got caught up on something minuscule. We used to assign it our user ID or a user object and then kind of access that IDs from in there. But now we're actually officially assigning it the user ID moving forward. That way we can do checks later based off of who is logged in. All right. Here's our register our user. We got some SQL placeholders. This is SQL, how they run placeholders. I do not want to get into this array indexed at 0 and this being 1, but as you can see, first dollar, first place, second dollar, second place. And we insert these values into our table with our hashed password. There's a console log for that as well. I think that's everything there. Let's go into our task controller. Okay, so we're doing a lot of the same thing again here as far as our error checks, our joy schema validation, our errors coming back. We run an update on our task here. Oh, uh, uh so here we are creating our task. This we are putting the is completed value in there, and we're saying if it doesn't have one, make it false because it should have one, but if it don't, make it false because we need that for doing our query when we insert the task into our database. We don't want our database to send us a constraint restriction back saying something wasn't proper. So here again, our task object that's returned back has rows. That's our new created task. We then return that because we can control what it returns. We leave out things like the person's email or their specific user ID that's used to access certain information. All right, so in indexing, we're checking if person's logged in. If no one's logged in, bam, shoots them an error message. Here, what we're doing is we are selecting all the tasks that equals this global user, which is the person logged in. It'll be all their tasks. Turn it into or pass it to list as an array to check to get this error message sent back. Here's our console log to check to show response is proper. It's a lot of the same things going forward. There'll be console logs to show you. Now let's go to Ghosty. Um, Clear. We are gonna run the tests, and we're gonna see here why I put the console logs in. Oh, why do you? There we go. That's fine. All right, so we see everything passed. This is the reason I wanted to show you uh the tests besides that it passes. We console log a lot of the things so that we could see what's going on. We got a user registered, 160 maybe. We see our password, our comparison. Here's the password, the hash password. We see it's true. Bad password test, bam. User registered, comparison again. It runs for a lot of the tests, the new task, task list. Um, because a lot of my errors are handled the proper way, the only way I can actually perceive a majority of them is through the tests and their returning values. Like this 201 here, response status code should be a 201. Status code 200. I believe I have some for 400s in here. Oh, here we go. So that's that. As you can see, all my tests have passed. I feel like there's something else I'm missing. Oh, Going into the information of grouped by with aggregate functions, comparing where and having. I'm gonna make this real quick and easy. Group by and having is more for your aggregate function, where is for your queries that aren't aggregate functions, combining information to make numbers and whatnot. I think that's it, and I'm pretty sure this is longer than it needed to be, but I hope it touched on enough information that it makes you guys happy. Thank you and have a great night.